Alright, I'm drawing Blade. I started making this drawing without you, which is why it's pretty much half finished here. Basically, I did not have a tripod, and I just thought it was going to be annoying to film without a tripod. And then I went to Daiso and got some stuff. That's a pencil I use. It is a, it says Sakura 20. It's a great mechanical pencil, what can I say? Really lovely. Anyways, I went to Daiso, I got some tripod stuff and a little light, and now I'm making YouTube videos. Who would have thought it would be so easy? So yeah, I haven't drawn in a long time, but I thought I would pick it up as a hobby again so I could use my expensive art supplies that I have, and so I could also have an excuse to buy a bunch of stuff, because let's be honest, buying art supplies is half the fun. So yeah, drawing Blade. This is him during his legendary NTS performance, which we all love. Very ethereal, very, not sure what else to say about it. It's a great set. That is a fancy eraser that I'm using. It works really well. I like it. I would recommend it. It's very soft and it gets the job done. This is what my drawing's looking like so far. I put little like hatch marks on there to show what I'm going to shade, and not that that was very helpful. Anyways, basically I like to make the drawing on just like some cheap paper that's literally just like computer paper. There's my reference. I have one with a little grid that's just like the grid that shows up from cropping. That just kind of helps me to get the proportions right. I put some markers on here, like on the sides. Like there's like little, you can't really see them anyways, but just to kind of like help me out get all the proportions right, because it's so annoying when you draw something and you look at it and you're like, WTF happened? Like, why is it all wonky looking? Why did I get the proportions all wrong? And it just kind of makes it much easier. I totally would recommend this method, especially if you're just starting out with drawing. Here's my light box situation. I have Miffy in a box. Basically, that is a plastic drawer that I have for like a set of Tupperware drawers. You know what I'm talking about? I didn't feel like buying a light box. What can I say? I like it when I can use what I have. And a light box, you know, it's literally just a light and some plastic, and this seems to work pretty good. A little bit later, as I was working on it, I put a book underneath Miffy just so that she'd be a little bit closer to the surface so I could see my drawing a little bit better, but yeah, it works pretty good. This is the deleter paper that I used. It's comic book paper because I thought I wanted to make a comic, but then I couldn't really commit to the bit. I can't come up with a story. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not a very original person. That's why I draw pictures that already exist. So yeah, I really like this paper. It's good quality. I was like, oh man, is this really just one sheet of paper? This feels pretty thick for one sheet of paper. I don't know, this could be two. But it is one sheet of paper. It's very smooth. And it has like, sort of like a built-in ruler, a built-in like guide along the edges. And it kind of has like, some like internal framing things to help you get your stuff framed. And one thing, when you're tracing your work, you want to make sure that your paper stays still, because if it doesn't stay lined up, it's going to be annoying. So I used a little bit of tape to put it in place. And then I traced my work. La la la. I trace. There's my DG tattoo, which you can see how much of a hate to use the word stan in this situation, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I've got a DG Love Pill tattoo, what can I say? So yeah, tracing this, most of the, it went pretty quick actually. But I did mess up in the area where the elbow is, where the like sweater comes out under the elbow. I like drew it too far out for some reason. I don't know why I did that, but whatever. It's fine. It's not the kind of thing that completely throws it off, but I do like to do things correctly, so it kind of bothers me, but whatever. Here is my kneaded eraser. Oh my god, we love kneaded erasers. I saw another YouTuber do this. Shoot, I don't remember who it was. It was either like Daijobu Life or someone else. But they took a kneaded eraser and they just kind of rolled it over the paper like this to kind of like soften up the pencil work before coloring. And I was like, hey, that's a great idea. And it works pretty well. It's very subtle though. So like if your pencil lines are pretty heavy, you kind of want to bring in just like a regular eraser too. I colored this with Sharpie highlighters because it is what I had. And I can't really commit to buying markers right now for some reason. I used to have a bunch of Copic markers, and I don't know. I don't even know if I really like using markers that much because you always get like a bit of overlap. It's kind of annoying to get like a smooth color going, so I think I will buy gouache paints later. But at the same time, I like using screen tone. It's something new that I started using, and I don't know if I could put screen tone over something I painted, and I don't know. So, and then there's another thing. Should I get acrylic markers or should I get alcohol markers? I believe Copic markers are alcohol markers. And I've used those in the past. They're all right. But I see some people using these like Ardex acrylic markers on YouTube. I'm like, damn, that looks good. Maybe I should use acrylic markers. They seem like they're easier to blend, things like that. And, you know, like I said, I kind of wanted to buy gouache, but then it's like, I'm going to get acrylic markers. Why don't I just use gouache then? Why don't I just use paint? Like, am I going to be able to put screen tone over acrylic marker, but not put screen tone over, like, actual gouache paint? I don't know. In this drawing, I did end up putting some of the screen tone over the highlighter. It seems like it's going to stick. I don't know, maybe it will randomly fall off one day. But this is what my coloring looks like so far. Pretty crappy if I do say so myself, but that's okay with me. The grayscale markers are Micron brush tip markers, which I think turned out really good. I think those, you know, that really says a lot about like when you're just using like crappy markers versus like using some high quality markers. I'm really happy with those brush tip markers. I was really hesitant to go through using a full-on black pen on this. For some reason, I always kind of shy away from going full-on, like, straight black because I feel like it's kind of harsh. It can kind of distract and pull your eye in too much, so I went with, like, a light gray and a darker gray. And I also used more of the blue marker that I had. Okay, not everything was a Sharpie highlighter. I do have one other random blue marker that my mom gave me. Also kind of a cheap marker, nothing fancy there. But yeah, I didn't have a skin tone marker, so I was just like, I'm gonna do his skin in grayscale because fuck it. This is the little tool thing that you use to flatten down your screen tone. And yeah, this is what my drawing was looking like as I was doing the screen tone on. Towards the end, I decided, you know what, it needs a little DG love pill. I need just something extra, another, like, design element in here. So I drew a little DG and traced it onto the screen tone. I don't even know if you're supposed to draw directly on screen tone, but I did it anyways. And yeah, cut it out. Put it on there. Wasn't really sure where am I gonna put it. I don't know. I kind of thought like initially, like I really did think like up in that like dark black corner it would have looked good. Then I decided to put it there because that's where I made that mistake with drawing the sweater out too far. Good job. So yeah, if you make a mistake, you can just slap something else on top of it to hide it. And here we go. We're cutting it out. Oh my god, it's going so fast. I purposefully left some of the pencil in as I was cutting it out because I kind of like the way it looks. I don't know what to say. I took some scraps and added it on there because I like the dimension. For some reason, I really like the way the hat turned out. I mean, it's not perfect. It's not that great. But I like the way it looks with the screen tone on top of it. And yeah, I scanned it. There it is. Hi, Blade. That's my drawing.